Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Bourguillon,
I'm Charles Muir.
and this is our review of I, Frankenstein. So, 200 years, the Dr. Frankenstein monster called Adam found himself in between two factions, the gargoyles and the demons, warring, and he discovers that he's the key that could destroy all of mankind. And then you just watch throughout the entire movie shenanigans occur. And what I didn't know that it was based on a graphic novel written by Kevin Greavious. Now he's the guy, the big guy from the Underworld movies. Now he's also in the movie as well, so you can't miss him. Now I don't know how faithful it is to the graphic novel. I don't know if you followed it.
Neither of us have read the actual graphic novel yet.
Yeah, so oopsie daisy. But there are notable actors in this movie.
I don't know how they got them, though.
Well, you know what? Magic happens all the time. So this is an example of it. Aaron Eckhart, he's the one that plays Adam. He is in Battle Los Angeles. He's also Two-Face in The Dark Knight. Miranda Otto, am I pronouncing that right?
I think so.
Okay. Who plays the Gargoyles' spiritual leader. She's in the Lord of the Rings movie. And also Bill Nye, who plays on the side of the demons. He's in Love Actually, Shaun of the Dead. I'm not sure of any other movies that you might know of.
Plenty of others.
Tons.
He's in all the good stuff. So how did he get in this?
No comment. For now. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So again, we don't know how close to his graphic novel, but just based on the movie, all I can say is, Kevin Greavious must be pissed on the movie reviews that are coming out because, it did not all that great.
And as of yesterday, before the recording, it had a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sounds about right.
That's kind of embarrassing, really. Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about the trailers, like your impressions on before I get into
transparency, I did not see the movie. I was sick that weekend.
No, which is fine. So what we're doing is we're going to talk about his expectations of what the trailers were, and then what I'll do is I'll just say this is what I saw from the actual movie, and we'll just have that good give and take type dialogue. Yeah.
Trailers can only show so much. They can only go into so much detail. So I'm sure there was a lot lost in context based off of what little I saw. For example, it did not notate in the trailers anywhere that the Frankenstein's monster actually had a name and that it is Adam. Could have just mentioned it offhand, just in passing, even in the voiceover saying Adam while he's on screen, so you have a reference
over here.
Apparently, based off of the trailers, from what I could see, Adam is just chilling out, being immortal.
Just hanging out.
As monsters do. Randomly, gargoyles decide to mess with him, and it's not really stated that there are demons, but surprise, there are demons. They all want to play with Adam. And
it's a good choice of words.
Yeah. And from what I can gather, Adam doesn't really play nice with other people of any race or species or whatever. So
not enough hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently Frankenstein, the actual scientist, wrote down perfect notes, which survived the eons because all books are indestructible, no matter what, especially in the movie worlds. So someone's going to try and make an entire army of Adams because I'm sure that'll work out perfectly. Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing possibly could have gone wrong with that plan. Absolutely.
And then, of course, the traditional fiery explosions and fighting sequences that cut all around with piano music in the background while we're recording.
Just pretend that's just part of the theme music.
Yeah.
That's planned. Come on now.
So, based off of just the trailers, theoretically, it might be a good popcorn snack movie, but I know I personally would not shell out the $10 to $15 to see it in 3D. This doesn't look like a 3D worthy movie to me. Just off the trailer.
Well, you know what? I will get to that because what I want to do is I want to break it down. My thoughts of the story, the plot, the characters, and then my final thoughts, and then give you that answer because I like to tease everyone with a long wait before my answer.
Yeah, we are a pair of big teasers, aren't we?
But before we go into that, just fair warning. There's going to be a few elements and events that will be discussed, so it's not going to ruin the movie, but spoilers, so that we're covered. So hopefully no comments are going to be said otherwise.
If you haven't seen it yet and you really want to, pause the video, go see it, watch it afterwards, post in the comments what you thought of it compared to our commentary,
and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, welcome back. Okay.
I'm surprised you left it paused for that long.
So the story is framed after Mary Shelley's story. So the movie has this potential to be this dark and gritty Frankenstein. He has this long hair. It's dirty. He has this attitude. He has a long trench coat. And, you kind of dig that because you kind of see him going through this phase of, I don't know who I am. He's going to learn things the hard way. And I say to myself, that's the perfect Frankenstein monster movie, is one that he's trying to figure out his identity. The problem with that is they don't go into that direction. And forget about the science too. I mean, I think even the movie goes into very little details of how Frankenstein's actually made. Even for a book, it slightly covers through drawings and small handwriting. This is how Frankenstein's made. But even the science is you Google it, it's yeah, right. So they just go into brief details and this happened. Let's move on. But
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
it's an action movie. It's a sci-fi movie to a degree.
Let's get stuff punching. Other stuff.
Suspension of disbelief is just par for the course. It's needed.
And that's fine. But I think my problem was that they spent too much time with the gargoyles and the demons. And you see that in the trailers.
More of the gargoyles than the demons. It took me a while to figure out there were demons.
Yeah. Well, because they put a lot of eye candy for the gargoyles. There's this great culture that they establish in this great grand cathedral, and they have a way they dress and how they dress each other, and their own weaponries that they the medieval swords and whatever the case is. Really cool. But
based off of just the trailers, the special effects budget for the gargoyles alone, that looked respectable.
Yeah, I mean,
that was pretty nicely done from what I could see.
Because with from this mindset of it's pretty much the same do you want to say it's the same Underworld production style?
I never did watch that whole series, but I know.
You gotta jump on that.
I've seen the first two, and then it went downhill from there.
Yeah, but no, I mean when you go into anything with Kevin Grievous, hopefully I'm saying that right. You kind of expect really, really great eye candy. He's really great imagery in regards to monsters, things like that. So you kind of expect that going in. Mm-hmm. But there's no really attachment to the main character, and that's the problem if your story is centered around
one person.
Okay, but that's what they decided to do, and what's the problem with that? Well, they fast forward 2 centuries like that. You get introduced to this dark, gritty Frankenstein monster who's named Adam by the spiritual leader of the gargoyles, and you think they're going to have this great friendship, and nope, they got this Highlander movie flash forward. He's training, and the hunter becomes the hunter, and 200 years later, he gets a haircut, he's a little bit more modern, and he's just killing demons just because he can.
He's the ultimate crotchety old man.
Yeah, but he's just super strong, and he kills stuff. So
crotchety Superman.
what I really would have liked was like he had some at least dialogue that help us move along. If they're gonna go that direction, at least say, and then some. It might sound cliche, but look in the mirror by himself, and this is the monster that I am, but that's who I accept.
He's had 200 years.
At least show us something that says that he's had this growth of anger that says this is why I'm doing it, because I'm just still angry and I just decided to be a monster, and that's who I will become.
Yeah, and in general,
you know what I mean?
In general society nowadays, well, a lot of people mistake Frankenstein's monster for Frankenstein, which is
I'm still
an issue within itself.
Being careful,
but Frankenstein's monster, that's what it's always been called otherwise, the monster.
Mm-hmm.
That's got all sorts of connotations with it, and if you're just called a monster for 200 plus years, you're going to have some issues.
Right.
But if some random person says, nope, you're Adam now. All right, see ya. The hell?
And actually, that's perfect.
I mean, granted, if he's an artificial being of some sort, whatever other terms you want to give him, would you really just accept some random shape changer giving you a name and then wandering off? But holding on to that name for 200 plus years and then still having identity issues.
For some reason,
this is something that could have been solved with a beta reader.
Or lots of hugs, I think.
They have psychiatrists. Those do exist.
You're hitting like a lot of great points that you're watching this movie and the gargoyles are introduced to Adam. They name him Adam, and there's no friendship formed, and that is like a missed opportunity.
Please tell me it's not actually an acronym for something.
No, there's
that would have been just insult to injury.
Oh God, please no.
Okay.
No.
At least not that. That would have been a Yui Bowl movie.
No. Please. No, I would have just walked out. It's like, that's it. I'm done. No, what they basically do is they create this movie that they just get to the fights as quickly as possible, and it makes it feel like you're watching a sequel. In that there's no like real feel of relationships at all. So that's why I said to myself, I feel like there's a first movie I'm missing out on, and they just didn't show it or something.
What would the first movie have covered to get them to the plot of this one?
Just really just Adam coming into himself.
Maybe adapting to the times as he goes through 2 centuries. A lot happens in 2 centuries that anyone would have to figure out how to blend in. Cause
I mean, I said to myself, like, the gargoyles are fighting demons, Adam's fighting demons. Are they not going to join forces at all at one occasion or the other, even by accident?
Out of curiosity, are the gargoyles and demons as long-living as Adam, or do they have different life cycles? Or is that not addressed?
It's pretty much shown that they are just always been there. With the exception, actually, no, you know what? I take that back. The gargoyles were signed to mankind by the angels, so they're sort of like the
angels advocates.
Angels advocates, and basically they're doing the dirty work of angels. Basically. So yeah, they're the new kids on the block, but they're still kind of old.
Yeah.
But I still said to myself, why in 200 years there are no relationships formed, even with mankind, even with like any creature on the earth.
I mean, parrots live for over 100 years. Make a friend with a parrot. Become a pirate for a while.
Like even like creatures that will not care how you look. Like, why wouldn't any creature at all choose companionship over being lonely?
Maybe that's one of the effects of being an artificial creation.
Well, then, wouldn't you argue that, and this is actually a key point in the story, like, is Adam just truly a monster or a creature with a soul just lost? And that's the thing that goes back and forth. And the answer that you get towards the end has no impact because you don't see him getting to that point. There's no real
it just
A,
happens?
B, C. Yeah, it's just, oh, it's all good now because of reasons. And you just don't buy it.
Okay.
So if there was like a first movie, they would show some growth to some form of humanity. Even if he had friendships and they failed, at least attempting to connect and failing would explain why he's constantly angry. Constantly anger.
Maybe show the whole
Angry.
aspect.
I can't stop now.
Maybe show the aspect of if he is effectively immortal or absurdly long living, if he even tries to befriend a regular human, the human's going to age and die pretty quickly.
So how does that impact someone that lives forever?
Yeah.
That would make so much better of a movie. And
even if the gargoyles or demons are as long living, he never chats with them, period, throughout those 200 years that they could show in a prequel movie, for lack of a better term.
You don't know because they flash forward.
To show, like,
and it's just,
did either side try to form a relationship during that time?
All right, I'm going to answer that in two ways.
Okay.
First, the perfect example of growth, Clancy Brown in The Bride. Watch that movie, and you're welcome. Because that's truly a Frankenstein monster that is experiencing the world as a grown child, and how he reacts is truly like a human would. That just doesn't understand and will just be scared, angry, happy based on, just normal day-to-day reactions with limited intelligence. But will accept kindness, will hate if being tortured, and all these things that happen to him, and you feel for him because there's attachment and you see the growth that happens to him. So that's truly a great example. And secondly, I think the lost opportunity that this movie does is neither side, the gargoyles or the demons, don't do anything to try to really make Adam an ally, really. The demons, off the bat, they are the ones that are first introduced to Adam. And you learn through this movie that they're chaotic creatures, that they are violent. So you think...
What a surprise.
Well, hey. But Adam in his infancy, angry, upset. Now, this is, again...
Relatively chaotic.
Yes. One would think, seduce this creature to our side. You are like us. We will encourage your anger. We hate men as you do. Join us. I mean, what great lines Bill Nye. Am I saying his name right correctly, Paul?
I always do Bill Nye, but that could be wrong as well.
Bill. Let's call him Bill.
Yeah.
But it'd be a great opportunity to really establish Bill's character in the beginning, and just show him as this tempter.
So he's one of the demons.
Yes, he is. But you don't see that till just the middle,
okay.
And there's no real dialogue between him and Adam except towards the end, and it's real brief and it's forgettable, and it's like
that's disappointing because he's a great actor and you could utilize him really well.
And what they do is just drop the ball and they just say, "Hey, let's jump him," and that doesn't pan out too well. But I think the gargoyles are the worst offenders because, again, you name this creature and you should leave him to his own devices instead of forming a relationship. And the spiritual leader, Miranda Otto, okay, she is a great actress, but this is a horrible character. Okay, so let's get that clear. Great actress, a horrible character.
So she did not have much to work with.
All right, let me say it this way. For a spiritual leader, she's making really stupid mistakes in that this special book that is identified as a potential problem, clearly identified by her as, oh, this could be a problem, let's hide it. No, let's not burn it, destroy
that's because books are indestructible in the movie world. You cannot destroy books. You cannot destroy writing. It is impossible.
I can say a comment, but I would curse at the same time. And there's so much like betrayal from the gargoyles that just like really, and then she gets so confused on where her loyalty lies. I guess in a way, like she tries to do the right thing, but then she says, let's backstab him instead, and it just makes you say, all right, so sure, let's do that. You're a spiritual leader. Let's backstab this creature. Sure. And because of reasons, everything's all good in the end. And you see this ending. That the fact that they're all friends in the end, it makes you just say,
what? The gargoyles, the demons, Adam, humans.
No. Sorry. Thank you for asking. The gargoyles and Adam, the circumstance that occurs is ridiculous, and it makes you just rolls your eyes to the point it just stucks in your head. You gotta knock it back into place. I mean, really, I think like that's just so many lost opportunities that are lost because they're just really concentrating on just the effects and the fighting.
Out of curiosity, in the trailer they show the fact that someone's creating an entire army of Frankenstein monsters, effectively, or an army of atoms, depending on their level of intelligence, or if they're connected to Adam's memories. You never know. It's sci-fi. Anything's possible. Is that a Chekhov's gun, or is it actually effectively used?
See, now we're getting really into spoiler territory. I'd say that we're going to ruin too much. But here, there
it's
are
not
things,
just a throwaway, ooh, look, I have an army.
There's things that happen that involve that plan. I'm going to say it that way.
Okay.
I'm trying to not to make it too spoilerific, but it's probably too late. But what happens in the end involves that plan, but really at that point it's so ridiculous because the fighting, it's all about the eye catching, especially when you're trying to purchase a ticket via IMAX. You expect that, and it's okay, but it's still like all right, these demons. For modern demons, they are up with the times. They're dressed in suits.
All right.
The problem is they're all matching. So,
like matching clothes, or they all have identical
in black,
faces.
All the dark glasses, and like towards the end, I feel like we're watching the Mr. Smith Experience. Like it's like they're
really. Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, oh, those must be demons because they're in black, and
do they all walk in unison?
Sometimes they do. Like, either in packs, they immediately flash. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I guess this is going to be kind of spoilerific. Sorry. The demons signal who they are by constantly flashing their eyes, like from regular to like red-ish or so. Or yellowish, whatever the case is. Hey, demon!
Like
we're gonna fight. So
anime style glowing red, or like
it's more like a
pupils?
slimy red. So it's basically just signaling that a fight sequence is about to happen. or like a running sequence.
Huh.
It's like, get over here, demon. And then shenanigans occur.
With occasionally with random blades, according to the trailer.
Now, these blades that they show are awesome.
They look nice.
They are very cool for medieval times.
It looks like the equivalent of Blood Rain's wrist blades.
Well, what he
as
has,
kind of a
they're actually
convenient use against evil.
As far as just close quartered weapons, that he likes to use blunt weapons because they're easy to use. Just smash them in the head.
He is a blunt weapon.
Yes,
so
pretty much.
It just becomes an extension of himself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
There's no special way of saying it other than yes.
Just because.
And you would think that over the years, let's increase the style of weaponry. And the demons, God bless them, they actually do that. They use the science, hence their plans. But they don't really implement it too much. But at least they're with the times.
Yeah,
I give them that much. The gargoyles, they are stuck in medieval times. Their weapons do not change. In fact, when you skip, no lie, from the 1800s to the modern time, they're in the exact same spot in the exact same cathedral with the exact same clothes on, with the exact same strategy of just pretending to be gargoyles, looking over man, defending them, but their numbers. They state that their numbers decrease, the demons double, but they're not going to change their strategy one iota. Really?
So theoretically, in that concept, the gargoyles either cannot reproduce or do not have the capabilities of increasing their numbers in a convenient manner.
There's actually a reason for that, which is explained in the movie.
And conversely, the demons can increase their numbers.
They can, but there's a method to it. So, you being a gargoyle, you see that your methods are effective to a point, but you see that you're only weeding out so much.
Yeah.
And you see that their plans, their influence, so on and so forth, is much deeper than yours. Now you have a shape-shifting ability.
Yeah.
Do you implement that into society and try to gain friends, spies, so on and so forth?
Yeah.
Or B, do absolutely nothing with it?
I wonder. So is it all of the gargoyles on Earth are in this one cathedral and
yes.
They never expand globally?
You don't even know if there's more because they don't even go that much. As far as you know, every gargoyle that's ever been implemented by the angels in this one spot
in this one
have
cathedral.
Not outstretched anywhere else. Is stuck in this one spot. Same clothes, same everything. They just... I don't know why the demons haven't implemented any plan just to bomb the hell out of that and just this same spot 200 years. That's just I don't know, implode that cathedral.
Yeah, so theoretically this is comparatively modern day, if not modern day. You could get various explosives, or heck, if they're demons, they could probably find a way to get a nuke.
Why not? Because you're evil, so who cares about the innocents around the situation?
There's minimal repercussions for you.
This movie could have been 5 minutes long. It's just good, evil, good, bye.
Yeah. And unless the demons refuse to go outside of that town, city, area, what have you, that would limit their options, but...
Yeah, there's no internet, there's no computer...
movies.
In that cathedral, they
no cell phone reception, I'm sure.
No. I don't think there's Scrabble in there. I don't know how they.
Is the cathedral used like during the day by humans, or is it
you
just?
You know what? The funny thing
there
is, it's theirs, and you know
down.
what? Like even to the point where like the bottom floor, like Adam goes to the front door, like he owns a place,
like the proper front door of a cathedral, big and dramatic.
And it's just gargoyles are around, like how dare you or whatever. There's no. Oh no, is that Adam going through the front door? People might wonder. No, he's going through the front doors. Let's just grab him. Are
they chilling out inside the cathedral in
where
gargoyle
is they gonna go?
Or
because they're assigned by angels. They have this ability to be stone gargoyles so that they could hide to protect humans. But they also take the shape. All right, spoilers of humans, but also third option, hybrid of both.
So
they could have
stationary gargoyle.
Yes.
Or mobile-ish gargoyle thing, or human type mask.
Yeah, something like. And you know what? All I said to myself was, just pick one and go with it. If you're gonna just not really truly implement your human forms, because like gargoyles, a cartoon.
Yeah, maybe they didn't want to go the cartoon route where you're either stone, you can't move, or you're a mobile flesh and blood gargoyle being. Except for when magic happens to occur because of Puck or Avalon or those
my head.
end of the last year's season or the last season shenanigans. That let's not talk about that. That doesn't exist. We ignore that.
Yeah, I don't like reliving that. Just ouch.
Moving on.
Actually, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Well, I mean, like really, just to wrap up. I mean, if you're like in a mood for like a popcorn movie, IMAX experience, it's like I'm just pumped to watch this great movie that's gonna blow my mind. And it's like to the extreme. Like no, this is not the movie. It's at best a rental, but I advise just waiting it to go on cable.
This is one of those movies where you're not going to actually have to think about it. You're not going to be forced to think about deep concepts. It's just cool action sequences and
spotted special effects, the occasional fight scenes that are cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just you wondering why are they doing it this way.
Out of curiosity, how's the soundtrack for the movie overall?
It's like
it came up.
Rock music, I think. I don't remember.
Not very memorable.
No, not at all.
Because usually, if you have a bad movie or even a mediocre movie, sometimes the soundtrack can somewhat save it. But always.
It's not like this deep, dark Batman. There's no fast-paced rock music at all. I think it was just
style
I think there was, but it's just over the head.
All right.
And like for the eye candy, like to give you like a range, nowhere near Tron Legacy, but better than the Avengers. That's right, I said it.
In regards to special effects.
Yeah, because like in my
fight
opinion,
sequences. Okay.
Because get the money for your bang for your buck with expectations. You do get to see a lot of cool things. That's why I said to myself, this would have been a great expensive movie that you would see on cable. It's like a high priced movie, like you would actually take your time to watch on television. But another thing that would bother me is the choice of actor, the main character. All right, so Aaron Eckhart, this guy being Adam, being sad because humanity hates him and he's isolated and ugly. Don't look at me. Shut up. Okay, like men might hate you.
Men hates everyone.
Well, but I mean like this guy's because he's still going on dates. Okay, he can steal someone's girlfriend. Okay, if he tries. Because like he's on Muscle Fitness magazine, front cover this month as Adam with the scars and all. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No comment.
So he's not like ugly. He's not oogly. He's not
All right.
anything oogly.
And
So
even from the trailers, he can easily pass as a human.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, granted, he might be a fighter or a war veteran, as people might look at him. Just
yeah,
from
but
the
they're
scars,
not. They're
but
like. It's like
dude's human. Looking.
Yeah.
Just if you're
he
walking
can still
by him
sit
on the
down
street.
like at a Starbucks and order coffee. It's like yeah. So I mean, so this stuff like that's really bugged me. And really, there might be a sequel. There's enough groundwork laid in that things are said and things are shown through the movie that they're going to continue the story. I don't care. I don't think you should care either, unless they completely change direction.
What would it be? We Frankensteins?
I bet you money
Us
it's a
Frankensteins?
female Frankenstein, like a Bride of Frankenstein situation. They actually make a female Frankenstein monster. And they fall in love and there's emotions.
Now, would they get like a female bodybuilder to pull that off, or would they just get like Scarlett Johansson? Pure eye candy.
Christ, I don't know. And frankly, I don't care because I'm completely not invested in this story at all. They dropped the ball, and had they again build this great emotional relationship in the first movie, and then showed this second movie, then all right, I'm on board. And then this a third movie, go crazy,
This
have a
sounds
female.
like
Van-
more. It would have worked
Frankenstein.
better as a mini series on cable. Like do 4 or 5 pieces, add in some of the backstory during those 200 years to kind of give it a little more meat, but rather
I
than
would
one
have signed up for that.
standalone movie.
But yeah, they chose otherwise.
I mean, look at some of the series that are out there on cable right now, like Hannibal. How the hell do you make a series out of Hannibal? But they've done it, and Sherlock, in various formats now. I mean, they could do a Frankenstein one. A Frankenstein series has not really been addressed that I can think of.
I think something's close to it is what's the one like a Beauty and the Beast type situation or whatever.
Well, there's Once Upon a Time,
Okay.
but that's more fairy tales.
I mean, frankly, it is possible. Like, Dracula. There's one
yeah.
series.
Well, there's an infinite amount of vampire series out there in various forms, and they've done werewolves. I mean, they had The Invisible Man even on Sci-Fi, which
Yeah.
I don't care what you say, I loved that series.
Easy, it's okay.
They could even do The Invisible Man. They can do a Frankenstein series.
I'm not sure words. So that's all I got. That's all I have to say about it. Do you have any last words on it?
I will see this movie, but not in theaters. I will wait until it's on DVD for rental or on cable. I don't really expect anything out of it other than the cool special effects and oh, that was a nice little touch. Everything else sucks, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Then again, I also happen to like the original. I hope I don't. It was Boris Karloff who did the original Frankenstein, or was it?
Of course, I'll have to look that up.
I'm pretty sure it was Boris Karloff who was. No. Crap.
Google it.
Yeah, I'm sure people will flame me for that because I keep on mixing
How
up.
dare you!
You got Boris Karloff, you got Bela Lugosi. Lugosi was Dracula. But I forget, was Karloff Frankenstein's monster or the Wolfman?
Hey man, I'm not helping us. I'm not any better. So they'll fry us both.
Yeah.
I apologize.
But by all means, fry me because I love the classic black and white ones. So, and I can't even think of the actors. But
No, I mean I think that's all needs to be said is that they can do better. Hopefully we get to see better, and if we do, then we're on board. Otherwise,
I wouldn't be surprised if they make other Frankenstein adaptations, considering they're going through a Hercules phase this year.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out.
It's not. I'm not going to watch any of those. Spoilers, I'm not seeing any of them.
Yeah, I think that's a safe spoiler right there.
If it doesn't have Kevin Sorbo, it doesn't count.
Okay, thank you. Yes. We love you, Kermit. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please like if you liked our jokes or comments, and
please post comments as to your reactions to the movie or the trailers or any of the things that we horribly botched in our facts. By all means, please correct us.
And yeah, this will be first of many. So if you have any suggestions on what we can implement, we'll take a look and we'll try to apply what we can. Do you have any last comments or words?
No, I think that about wraps it up.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Until the next review.